At this point, I think we might be living at our in-laws' house until, you know, we get old and gray, because the housing market is absolutely ridiculous. It's so sad because back in the day, you're able to just go to school, get a good job, get married, be able to buy a house, start a family, and possibly be able to stay part-time at home even with the children to help raise them. Now it's like, no, you get married, where are you living? Maybe we're gonna live in a shoebox, maybe we're gonna be homeless living on the street, because why is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath like $800,000? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how things are going right now, because it's like, it's pretty hopeless for this generation, for us that are trying to start our lives and get a place. It's like, rent is absolutely insane. You can't save any money to be able to buy a place. They don't want us to own anything, and they literally want to like destroy your dreams of starting a life. It's just so embarrassing.
I just got denied for an apartment. I have to move out of my beautiful big ass 2-bedroom apartment with a foyer and a separate kitchen and windows in every room. We're not gonna talk about it. Just got denied for an apartment because with me and my friend who are gonna be moving in together, her credit score is not high enough for us to qualify together, but my income is not high enough for me to qualify on my own. Although I have a 740 credit score, I have savings, and I make 30 times the rent. But because I don't make 40 times the rent on my own, although we make more than 40 times the rent together, we don't qualify. We don't deserve to have a home according to New York City real estate. And I'm just like, I don't understand, because it's like, so credit is powerful enough to make you a poor applicant when it's not good, but it's not powerful enough to make you a good applicant when it's good?
So I just got home from touring an apartment, and this whole drive home, I have been stewing with anger because between the time I signed up for that tour a week ago and the time I got there to do the tour today, the price of the unit I was interested in has gone up by $300. $300 in a week. And I no longer qualify for the unit at all because it went up by $300 in a week. And they were talking about, well, the supply and the demand. The supply and the demand. That's why it went up. They skyrocketed over the last week because of the supply and the demand. What are these landlords going to do? These property management companies, because it's not even necessarily like individual landlords, it's these property management companies. What are they going to do when nobody can afford to live in their apartment complexes? What are they going to do when nobody can afford to live in their building? Because this place is also requiring 3 times the rent in income. I have a degree and a salaried job, and I don't make that. There's no reason why any person with a college degree and a salaried job should not be able to qualify for like a basic apartment. Any basic apartment. And I'm going to tell you something. I work in housing, okay? I work at a nonprofit that houses homeless families. I work with homeless families with children. And every single day, I see the consequences of this. I have a client that brings in $4,000 a month and is homeless. They bring in $4,000 a month through their job and they are homeless because of the price of these apartments, because of the income requirements. I see every day these people going to look at apartments, applying for apartments and getting priced out by the time they can fill out the application, priced out between the time they tour the apartment and apply, priced out between the time they see the apartment and when they apply. And sometimes it's one day and they're priced out. Some of these people have evictions. I don't give a fuck what you think about evictions. You can have an eviction from 6 years ago. Good fucking luck. You're homeless. You're homeless because you got evicted once 6 years ago because you lost your job. I see people dealing with the consequences of unfair and illegal evictions. People who are homeless because they were a stay-at-home mom and their husband died. And some of these people have income. Like I said, I have a client that brings in $4,000 a month and can't afford to live anywhere. And what are these places going to do when no one can afford to live there anymore? And all of these people who would say that this is fair, the landlords should be able to make a profit off of housing, right? That's a whole different, don't even get me started on for-profit housing. But all of the people that would say this is fair, the landlords should be able to make a profit. All these people that are bringing in money and can't afford to live, that's their own problem. We should just throw them to the wolves. We shouldn't be giving them any money. On my way to that apartment tour, by the way, I drove past a cop kicking a homeless man off the corner. Like he had anywhere else to go. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell those people something. Those people who are anti-spending money on homeless people. My organization, which is one of literally a million in the United States, spends an average of $30,000 to provide emergency shelter to our clients. $30,000 per client. And that doesn't include the rehousing. That doesn't include the stabilization. That just includes paying for their emergency shelter. Just the bed. $30,000 per client. Per family. And that is all government grants. That's all government money. It's all coming from emergency shelter grants from the government. It would be so much cheaper for everyone, less of a burden on everyone, if rent was just affordable. Like, there's literally no downside to making rent something that people can afford. There's no reason I should have a homeless family in my care that's bringing in $4,000 a month. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. They make more than I do. They make more than I do. But because of the rules about bodies per room and they have a family with kids, they can't support themselves. And that person makes more than I do. It's insanity. It's insanity. And I am so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. Where are we all supposed to go? Because at the trajectory this is going, we're all going to get priced out. what are we supposed to do and where are we supposed to go? Like, I don't get it. What are we all supposed to do?
Chicago is on literal crack right now because this is my apartment, guys. Like, this is it. Nothing special. It's small. It's a studio. I don't have a living room. And I just got the email telling me that my rent was increased to $1,850, guys. $1,850. Like, this is it. This is the apartment. Table, like my kitchen area, like there's no counter space if you can tell. There's no dishwasher. This is how small my bedroom is. I don't even have a couch or anything. I have like a little like catch-all like area right here that I can barely fit anything. And then this is my bathroom. You guys, what in the hell? I don't know how I'm gonna afford living in Chicago anymore, because I'll tell you right now that for a girl who's been in the industry for 2.5 years, I can't afford an $1,800 apartment.
You cannot budget your way out of a bad economy and greed. I just saw a girl on here say her rent is going up from $1,300 to $1,800. Nothing's changing, just a $500 increase because they can do that. And it was so upsetting hearing the anger and frustration in her voice, because obviously if she resigns but can't make those monthly payments, she'll be facing eviction and homelessness. But if she chooses to relocate, that's also very expensive, because a lot of places want first month, last month, and security deposit, which is oftentimes equivalent to 1 month's rent, which, by the way, rent these days, you're not finding anything under like $1,500. Then you have to pay for your U-Haul if you want to get movers, if you want to move across state lines to hopefully find something cheaper. Like, all of that adds up for one event, and you're looking at $7,000 or more. Now, who has that just sitting around in the bank these days? I would love to know. Tell me your secrets, please. But it's just scary. Even private landlords are being impacted because their property taxes are going up, so now they have to up the rent on their tenants. And I just want to know, where do we all fit in this system? What is the end goal here for us? And I hate to say this, but I feel like there is no end goal for us other than to be weeded out. We're not in the big picture. Our well-being, our basic human rights, food, shelter, that kind of stuff, that's not on the agenda of these private corporations who are upping the prices on these complexes, or the government and the economy that claim to care about us so much. We're not on their agenda. So like I said in the beginning, it's just scary, because no matter how you try to sit there and go over your budget and review your monthly statements and try to stop spending here and stop spending there, you cannot budget your way out of a shitty economy and greed. I don't know. It's scary.
Let me let y'all in on a little secret I learned working in property management. If you live in an apartment complex and your utilities are included, or your utilities are paid through your apartment complex, you know they're not doing that just to be nice and make it convenient for you, right? It's either for one or two reasons. One, they're getting a kickback, especially with the internet. Like, if they're charging you $100 for an internet package, I guarantee you they're getting that internet for $50 to $75 per unit. So they're just pocketing the rest of your money. Or they're scratching somebody's back. So it's some type of business partnership. And, you know, they just want to hook up one of their homeboys and make sure they get paid for every tenant and every door that they have at their apartment complex. So yeah, that's your sign to start putting that plan in place to purchase a home.
This message is for all my homeowners out there. How y'all feeling? Yeah, y'all got that email yet saying y'all property tax done increased this year? Yeah, that insurance rate just going up higher and higher, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah, we just got an email this morning saying our mortgage payments done went up substantially. Yeah, so at this point, Uncle Sam, I'm gonna need to see you outside, because we gonna have to squabble. I'm gonna need that fade. Everybody talking about, oh, you need to buy a house. Yeah, until that mortgage rate go up. Till that escrow payment just skyrockets. Oh, man, and don't let nothing need to be fixed in the house. Yeah. You remember back in the day, you used to call maintenance, hey, maintenance, can you please send someone to 304? My AC unit is out. Yeah, let your AC unit go out now. You scared to call someone. You steady opening windows, because you already know that bill gonna be higher than Smokey in the pigeon coop. Boy, I tell you. Let me know if it's just me who want to put hands on Uncle Sam. Let me know. I'm just checking on y'all. I'm praying for us.
I'm selling my home after being a homeowner for only 1 year, and here's why. Saying I'm a homeowner is a lot better than actually being a homeowner. There's a lot of work that goes into maintaining a home. that I'm just not willing to do, to be honest. Also, I prefer living in an apartment because of the amenities. You have parking garages, you have security, you have a pool, you have trash pickup. And then I'm a mom, so as far as safety goes, like I could live on the second floor, the third floor, fourth floor, and I wouldn't have to worry about someone like getting into my home. Like I just feel like it's a lot more safer. I've always felt a lot safer. When something goes wrong in your house, you are responsible for fixing said problem. When you live in an apartment or when you have a landlord, they have to handle maintenance. You can pick up the phone, hello maintenance, help me. When you have your own home, you can have a warranty, but there's oftentimes a deductible associated with that warranty. It's a headache. It's a true headache. My neighbors in my community suck. Like I have a few good neighbors, but I have a few not so great neighbors, and it's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's not worth it to settle and live around people that I don't want to live around forever. I don't know if I have ADHD or ADD, or I don't know, but like also too, I'm not the type of person that wants to like sit in one place forever. Like I love movement. Like I don't want to be in one place forever. So, and I have commitment problems. I can't commit to one place. Like that's just not for me. So long story short, another huge thing is your mortgage changes. Like obviously I factored this in before I purchased my home, but now it's getting to the point that my mortgage is going up because of taxes, but it's like how your rent goes up and you don't see any changes, right? My mortgage is going up and I'm not seeing any changes. I'm over it. So long story short, being a homeowner is, people have always told me like, oh, buy a home and just rent it out. And the reason I'm not renting my home out is because for me, I just feel like that would be an even bigger hassle, because if something goes wrong, I have to fix it immediately. If they tear up my entire home, I have to fix that. And I get that there's insurances and there's all these caveats, but again, that's extra stress that I truly do not need right now. So long story short, I wanted to be a homeowner before I became a mom. I became a mom at 31, wanted to own a home. Around that time I was a homeowner by 30. 31 now, I'll be 32 in a few months, and I just want to be done with this. I don't want to be a homeowner anymore ever again. Like I'm not interested in it. And my advice to anyone who is like wanting to be a homeowner or feeling bad that you're not a homeowner, take your time. Take your time. Enjoy those amenities at those apartments.
We bought our house in 2018, and if we were to buy it today in 2024, we wouldn't be able to afford it. In 2018, we paid $370,000 for it. We just got it appraised, and it is now worth $720,000. We did a VA loan, so we put 0% down. Today, we would do the same thing, VA loan, 0% down. We've since refinanced it whenever rates became really, really low. But whenever we bought it at a 4.5% interest rate. That interest rate today would be 7.4%. So our principal and interest in 2018 was $1,874. Today, with that 7.4% interest rate, our principal and interest would be $4,985. Taxes in 2018 were $1,020 a month. And assuming that taxes would change, but with the sale of the house today, taxes would be $1,791 a month. So our monthly payment in 2018 was $2,894. Today, that would be $6,776. This is really sad for the younger generation.
Listen to me. I will never be able to afford a house. I will never be able to afford a house.
Home prices are rising nationwide as inflation remains stubborn and mortgage rates remain high as Americans compete for fewer available homes. Home prices in March were up 0.4% compared to February. Now that's the second month in a row that we have seen gains.
My parents' house that is $195,000 back in '96 is now worth like $500,000 to $700,000. My children will never be able to have the life I live because I can't afford to do it.
I don't think any of us thought when we were growing up that owning a home would be a luxury. Like maybe we thought it would be a bit difficult, but not like a luxury that basically only the rich will be able to afford.
No one that works a full-time job should be facing homelessness. And that's what my family is facing right now.
Being completely radicalized by the rental housing market right now, I cannot believe that you can pay over $300 in non-refundable fees just to apply for an apartment.
A big part of the reason why social life here in America is getting more and more difficult has to do with the fact that nobody can afford decent housing.
Because right now, this economy, this world is set up to make average American families fail.
And I'm appalled that our particular kind of capitalism not only fails to deal with the housing problem, but somehow routinizes it so that the homelessness is blamed on the homeless, blaming the victim kind of, because I can see why a society does it, because if you're such a failure at providing this basic human need, you better blame somebody, because otherwise you risk blaming yourself.
It's no way around not living check to check. We all live in check to check at this fucking point. Because you want to live in a good neighborhood, right? You don't want to live in the hood. Bills and shit, all this shit is not doing nothing but going up. The average fucking apartment, one bedroom is like $1,600. Especially if you living on your own, that's what make it twice as harder. That's why people always try to go out for like a second source of income, really just to have some free fucking money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fucked up because it's like, okay, let's say you work 2 jobs. If you work 2 jobs, you don't have no fucking time to yourself, because when you away from the first job that you at, you thinking about going to the damn second job, or you got to get ready to go to that second job. Like, I swear, like the economy nowadays is like, it's to the point where it's meant for us to struggle. Like, a motherfucker making $25 an hour back in motherfucking 2014, that's goddamn $50 an hour. Now $25 an hour is like $16 an hour. Like, what the fuck? You already got to worry about rent. And then you got to worry about bills outside of your house. Phone bill, car note, and it's a law to have insurance. And that ain't even half of the bills that majority of us got. That's why it be so hard to, save money and fucking just maintain a good living at least. I get it. You got to work without looking at the clock, but god damn.
Everybody in America kind of knows, like, it's over. Like, there will be no recovery. Like, this is not like the other times. This ain't like 2008 where, we'll crash and then we'll get back up. If I can get my hands on a nice lump sum of money, baby, I'm buying land in another country and I'm out of here, because there's nothing left here but struggle.